His wife, Molly Crosby. She's always trying to eat more healthy, and she actually, like me, is one of those people who loves to go to the grocery store. Go figure. But anyway, we're going to hit the grocery store with her this morning in search of making a few changes to make your breakfast more healthy.
Hey Amy, when we're talking about building a really great breakfast, there's plenty of different things we can talk about. One thing I'd like to cover in the beginning, though, is that every day we have a chance to invest in our health, and we take on the responsibility for ourselves for good health, good fuel, knowing what we're eating and why we're eating it. So I'd like to share with you a little bit about how I engineer my perfect breakfast. I actually eat a really big breakfast, and it's something my mother taught me that I haven't really ever let go of, and I feel like it served me really well. I try and eat a little less than half of what I'm going to eat all day in the morning. Don't let that startle you. I know a lot of people are not quite into the breakfast brigade, so maybe we can just pick a few things that I talk about today, and that could be a good starting block, and maybe eventually you'll be having a really big breakfast too. First place I'd like to start is things like eggs. There are a lot of different types of eggs. I like to choose actually these cage-free omega-3 eggs. Cage-free doesn't necessarily mean that the chickens are out running around free, but it does mean they have the opportunity to. It's just something I feel good about. My mom only likes brown eggs. You know, you might have many different reasons why you choose whichever eggs you do, which is great, but these are the ones I choose, and I think they're excellent. I really feel like whatever dollars we spend, we're kind of casting our vote on what we think is important, what we think matters, and I think it's great to be a socially conscious consumer. Know what you're buying and why. So that's why I buy these eggs. So I usually like to have a couple eggs. I have them on toast. I also have a little bit of kefir. This is that milk product similar to yogurt that has a lot of probiotics. I just have a small glass of it after I've had a glass of water. So then after we've had some of our eggs, toast, and water, I always make sure that I have fruit. Some of the fruit that I picked out this morning, I try and really just stick with berries because I don't tend to eat them any other time in the day. So I'll take blackberries, raspberries, if I have them, some strawberries. Usually I'm at the store, I'll only choose one or two. So I'll maybe do blackberries and raspberries one day, and then the next week maybe I'll do blueberries and strawberries. Berries can be a little intimidating sometimes because they carry a higher price tag occasionally. They're absolutely worth it for your health. These deep, rich colors are just beacons for good health, antioxidants, a great aid to your overall healthy picture. I like to throw them on Greek yogurt, which we talked about, and I like to top it with organic raw agave nectar. What these different words mean, because I know it can be confusing, and even I throw around the word organic all the time. It's good to stop and actually talk about what it means. Organic just means that it's been grown in such a manner that is in alliance with the USDA standards. Those are kind of changing, so that can mean different things, but that's what organic is. Raw means that it's been unprocessed. That's the main reason why I choose raw agave nectar, or if you have the option, you can choose raw honey. That means that a lot of the good stuff has been left alone, and it's been made in such a process that they don't have to pasteurize everything out of it. So that's another component of building my great breakfast. And then we talked a little bit about bread or grains. So let's go a little further into that topic. We're here in the organic section, but I have a couple different options for you. If you don't want to come here, that's okay. There's some great options over on the other side of the store. This Sara Lee Hearty and Delicious 100% whole wheat is fantastic, and they even give you a little snapshot of the nutritional highlights, you could say, with the fiber, the low sugar, the low fat, and the low calories. Whole grain is great. Don't be scared of carbs. We're good with them. Also, from Pepperidge Farm, we have a soft honey whole wheat. Some whole wheats don't really toast as well as others. They're not all created equal. This one does. Put a little bit of butter and a little bit of your agave nectar or honey. Oh my gosh, so good. Or just throw your egg right on top of this. This one has 4 grams of fiber, which is fantastic. Here in this section, though, a little insider tip. Mason's nutritionists, the Packers, tell them to buy them natural ovens. This stuff is great. So if you're doing an egg sandwich in the morning, sometimes I just use hamburger buns. You can kind of shove them in your toaster. They're great. My favorite out of this section, though, is the oatmeal bread. Let's take a little look-see. We've got lots of fiber, incredibly low in sugar, protein, good carbs from a great source, complex carbohydrates. Your body can use these all day long. If you're maybe a little less inclined towards eggs or towards an egg sandwich or even the yogurt, another great option are waffles. You know, it's not going to be a toaster strudel, but it's going to be delicious. You can go ahead and do blueberry, or I like the 7 Green. I like to put frozen fruits, frozen blueberries on them in the winter. I just stick them in the microwave for 30 seconds and they almost have their own syrup to it or sauce. Both of these are great sources of fiber, low in fat, high in protein. That's a really great equation for a successful breakfast. So there's a whole lot of options. Even if you're not a big breakfast person, maybe just choose one and focus on that for a week. See how you feel throughout the day. I know it might be a little bit of an obstacle at first if you're not used to that sit-down breakfast, so it's okay. Just do a little well each day, and I think you'll be surprised at the results you can have. Enjoy breakfast.